Hello everyone. So I just wanted to show my simple homemade outboard motor stand. This is an Evinrude 40 horsepower from 1993. Essentially, the goal of this motor stand was to use as little wood as possible. So essentially, this stick right here, this is just kind of a support. So into the stand you can build in any way to kind of support it from falling over left and right. The primary design of the stand is just to make sure the motor stands up, and you can pretty much hold it upright using anything, just lean it against anything. And essentially there are three parts. There's the bottom support, which runs all the way from over there to the back. This potentially could actually be cut a little shorter. I haven't tested this. The main support for the engine, which is the engine bracket, and the rear support, which basically just keeps the motor from falling forward under its weight. So, as you can see, essentially, I just made a simple motor bracket. Actually, you could even also cut a little bit of space off here, so this could be a little less wide. And it seems to be working perfectly. Another reason for this motor stand was that in most of the ones I saw online, they had two layers of support, so it's kind of like a 3D square box type of design. And my idea was that it would try to use as little space as possible and it'd be as little wide as possible. So technically, if you were to actually saw this down a little bit, the motor stand would be barely any wider than the motor itself. So yeah, essentially it just basically uses very little wood with a few simple supports, one main board that goes up and down with one support beam attached to it. And after that, the motor sits perfectly. And this piece right here that sits below, this is not actually bolted in, it just sits with the weight of the motor. As the motor tilts down, it kind of puts pressure on this board. So when you actually want to move the motor, there's a fairly easy way to move it. You just take a 2x4 and essentially shove it into here and replace this piece of wood. And now you have one long stick that runs through the motor on each side that two people can easily lift and pretty much just drag the motor anywhere. So if anyone's interested in this design, I kind of came up with it along the way. As I said, there's a few modifications, such as possibly making this a little shorter, but this really did not use much wood at all. I could use less wood than I did, and it takes up very little space. So I just kind of wanted to share my little design I made.